Avoiding your unfinished home projects because you're not sure where to start? Thumbtack knows homes, so you don't have to. Don't know the difference between matte paint finish and satin? Or what that clunking sound from your dryer is? With Thumbtack, you don't have to be a home pro. You just have to hire one. You can hire top-rated pros, see price estimates, and read reviews, all on the app. Download today.
This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Welcome aboard here on a Thursday. Busy hour on tap. We're going to get to the Thursday night football game coming up in 15 minutes. Some angles and bets that we like on it, and we will dive back into the big bombshell today from the NBA where you have a coach and a player involved. The coach was in an illegal poker operation tied into the mafia. Unbelievable today after last night, the true opening night for the NBA, and you wake up to this news today.
Yeah, what those crime families mentioned as well.
Oh, man.
Gambino, Bonanno, Genovese crime families, illegal poker game. What the hell's going on?
Chauncey, don't take the phone call like you were saying earlier, Pauly. Right now we head out to the Progressive Guest Line. We'll get some best bets in the soccer world as the meat man Steve Wyss joins the program now. He is with the Nordic Football Pod and Because We Win. Meat man, good to talk to you as always. How you been?
Hey guys, yeah, been pretty good, thanks. Hope you're well. Looking forward to the show as always.
Same here. Love having you on the program. Let's begin with a prim play tomorrow on Friday, and you want to attack Leeds and West Ham. What is your play?
Yeah, under 2.5 goals at -125. I took the under in both of these teams' matches last week, and they both cashed. And it's the same old story, really. I mean, let's start with West Ham because their performance on Monday against Brentford was horrendous. It was one of the worst performances I've seen in the Premier League. They certainly didn't look like scoring. And, you know, the new manager, Nuno Espirito Santos, come in. I've said before, he's known for defensive tactics and low-scoring games. 3 matches in charge, 3 games under 2.5 goals. No surprise to me. Mm-hmm. Just going to keep backing that trend while we're getting good odds on it. And Leeds, my own team, the big problem is you just don't really fancy anyone in the Leeds team to score from open play. I think we could maybe see Leeds score from a set piece in this game, from a corner or something. West Ham are not very good dealing with corners. So my best guess is Leeds 1-0. The 0-0 is a possibility. One stat that is going under the radar is that Leeds United's defence is the 4th best expected goals against in the league, which is sneaky good, actually. So I think we can be quite confident West Ham don't score. Under 2.5 goals looks a very, very good bet here at -125. We could see quite a lot of chances missed in the game.
Love it. Last week you had a winner with Chelsea. Now this Leeds game's tomorrow, as you mentioned. Saturday we're going to Chelsea again, and you think Chelsea puts it on Sunderland?
I really love Chelsea right now. I mean, I backed them last night on the handicap -2, and they won 5-1 against Ajax. They hammered Forest last week 3-0. Mm-hmm. They're in great form, and they only got to cover a -1.25 Asian handicap here, which basically means if they win by a 2-goal margin or more, you're going to win your play. If they win by exactly 1 goal, you'll only lose half your stake, which is a nice bit of insurance. They're playing a newly promoted team at home. Chelsea have the biggest squad in the Premier League. They rotate players all the time. They can nearly name a second string 11 like they did in midweek against Ajax and rest all their top players. So they're going to be fully fresh and ready to go. Sunderland have performed quite well since coming into the Premier League, but most of their best results have been at home. They've yet to face a team inside the top 6, Sunderland. So I think, you know, with all due respect, they've yet to be properly tested by a seriously high-caliber team, and this is going to be the first examination. They've only scored 1 away goal all season, Sunderland, despite how good they've been. They lost at Burnley. I think Chelsea will do a very professional job and win quite comfortably. 2-0, you're looking at 2-0, 3-0, maybe even 4-0 in this sort of match. I think it's a massive gulf in class between the teams, and I think we're getting line value just because Sunderland are a little bit overrated now. So we've got to take that while we can. In addition to Chelsea, as I said at the minute, I'm absolutely in love with them. I think they're a bet in most matches right now.
Okay, what are you doing with Man United and Brighton?
I'm opposing Manchester United because there's one team who can never, ever back up a good result the next week is Manchester United. They beat Liverpool last week, and that was a big shock.
Yes.
Whenever they do this sort of result before. The next match is always a flat performance. There's a guy out there, you'd have probably seen it on X. He can't cut his hair until Man United have won 5 consecutive games. Let's just say his hair is like what Michael Jackson was in the early 80s. It's massive and afro and everything. So, yeah, I think he's going to be waiting quite a long time. I'm going to take Brighton here, draw no bet. Brighton are a very good team when they're an underdog against the sort of the big sides. They raise their level when they're given more space. They've won their last 3 trips to Old Trafford. So they've got a great history in the head-to-head. They won 5 of the last 7 matches against Man United. I think Brighton can very worst get a draw here. I'm going to oppose Manchester United because traditionally in the last few years, they very rarely, the last time they won 3 matches in a row was in January. And they rarely win 2 games in a row, which is the run they're on now. They're not going to make it 3 in a row. So I think it's quite a safe bet. And at plus 150, some very generous value. I think Brighton can take it to Man United here and spring the so-called shock. But I wouldn't be shocked.
Follow the Money, Pauly and Mitch VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. The Meat Man, our guest on the Progressive Guest Line, Because We Win Pod. Also the Nordic Soccer Podcast as well. Follow him, Meat Man Soccer on X, 3-2 last week. Let's go to Sunday. 0-0 detector out again. 2.5 is the goals with Wolves and Burnley.
Yeah, you called it there, Paulie. This I think will be the worst game of the Premier League round. 2 really poor teams against each other. It's going to be dire entertainment, and under 2.5 goals makes a lot of sense. Burnley, they're a very defensive team. Mentioned it last week. These 2 teams have the worst expected goals in the Premier League, by the way, so we're not expecting much from the offences. Burnley's defence is not too bad. You can't judge Burnley on their away matches so far. They face Spurs, Manchester United, Man City and Villa. All those matches have gone over 2.5 goals. But this is a completely different test. This is by far their easiest away match yet because Wolves are winless. They lack confidence. They lack goals. There's no way I would back Wolves at minus money here. That's what the odds they are. In fact, Burnley could look a big price. But you'd maybe have to go on the handicap or draw no bet because, like you said, the 0-0 detector is in operation. Let's not overcomplicate it here. This back straight over to under 2.5 goals at minus 161. It looks one of the bankers of the week, really. Just don't see where the goals are coming from. Yep.
A request would be if we can get more lower league plays. I don't want you to force anything, but I love the lower leagues. And we've talked about this team for a couple years now, this club, and they've killed some people here, burned them big. MK Dons, do they have their act together? Let's go to League 2. What do you think of MK?
Yeah, I nearly give you Coventry, actually, -1 in the Championship. I like them.
Oh, but, good.
MK Dons draw no bet at Bromley. I don't really know what I'm missing here because MK Dons have suddenly found form. An infuriating team for a lot of bettors out there in the last 2 years. This is the best squad in League 2, though, easily. I think they might go on and win this division now. And you can take them on this draw no bet handicap away to Bromley. Bromley are unbeaten at home, but have had 4 draws out of 6. But that doesn't matter. If it's a draw, we're not going to lose any money whatsoever. MK Dons are unbeaten away from home, 4 wins and 2 draws. They've won 4 games in a row. And it's just the way they've been playing. They're suddenly scoring a lot of goals. They're looking the confident team that we expected them to be. And, Bromley just 1 win in 7. And the chances of you actually losing this bet is not very high at all. MK Dons are scoring goals for fun as well. 12 goals in their last 4 games. I can't look beyond them here. I think this is an away win. Michael Cheek is a good striker for Bromley. They might get on the scoreboard, Bromley. But MK Dons have got more than enough firepower to get the job done. And like I said, the Championship play I would go with would be Coventry -1. Coventry are playing some really, really good soccer right now in the English Championship.
Very good. Do you think MK Dons would qualify as your best bet of the week? Would it be? It sounded like you were really high in Chelsea, though, as well.
Oh, I love that Chelsea bet. I love that Wolves under, and I love this one. I mean, in terms of actual security, your chances of losing this bet on the draw no bet handicap, Mitch, is so low, isn't it? That I would probably just have to go with this one, but Chelsea should show their class against Sunderland.
Very good. You can follow Steve on X. He's at Meatman Soccer. A couple of podcasts here, the Nordic Football Pod, and Because We Win as well, and he joined us on the Progressive Guest Line. Meatman, you're the best. Thanks for the time. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you next week.
You got it.
Very good.
Appreciate you. Are you expecting fireworks tonight?
Kind of, yeah.
I expect a high-scoring game. I really do. And I think there's a lot of crazy stuff that can cash tonight if you look at all your props.
Can I give you a couple of reasons why?
I think it's going to be similar to last week. I called my shot last week, and it delivered. I think both quarterbacks can eat. I'm going to run down the tight ends. There's too much firepower here offensively and too many issues defensively for both squads.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I think, first of all, look no further than the Minnesota defense.
Yeah.
They are, I think we have to call them completely fugazi. I mean, the defense at the beginning of the year, first of all, I was fine with McCarthy. I had absolute trust in Kevin Connor to make it work, KOC. And I thought guy's a borderline genius going back the last 2 years. Darnold had the best year ever. The year before that was actually maybe even more impressive. And I love Brian Flores as a DC, and I thought with their personnel on defense, it's going to be a hell of a 1-2 combination. And I hate my chances with my future bets on this team now, and I think the defense and how weak it is to this point is a big reason why. Wentz
moved it last week. The issues in the red zone and also the pick six. And look at the Charger games going back. Look at that Colts game. Look at what they couldn't stop Miami.
No, they could not.
And they should have blown out Miami to had 3 picks, but they also had to settle for a lot of field goals, and they were bad in the red zone as well. So between Allen and Gadsden and Johnston, who Charge likes, and what Minnesota has with their weapons, and what the Colts did to the Charger defense.
You going to go to war with Kicker the Dicker? I
can't do it anymore. I can't do it because of the issues. And do they have to play from behind? Are they forced to go for it on 4th down?
Well, at home.
He's had a couple of losers, though. And he's also had the early field goal, and that's been it. What happens if you're in an accident, the other driver doesn't have insurance or not nearly enough? You're the one stuck with the bills, repairs, and lost wages. That's where Lasso Injury Law steps in. They know the ins and outs of uninsured and underinsured motorist claims, and they fight to make sure you're not left paying for someone else's mistake. Lasso Injury Law is there for you, 702-625-8777. Free consultation, no voicemail, lassoinjurylaw.com, 702-625-8777. Al's the real deal, the best.
All right, so player projections at vsin.com are high on one quarterback, low on the other. We'll give you the numbers next.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
I think tonight's game, pretty good one on paper, even though these two teams are kind of trending in the wrong direction. I'm just talking about this matchup in particular. Nothing with the future. Don't care about that for tonight. Chargers are, in fact, lane 3. There are some 3.5s out there. 20 cents, though, on the 3 at most spots, the way it looks. And the total, Pauly, is 44 and a half.
The loser is in big, big trouble. And I know there's been a lot of injuries, but suddenly that great start for the Chargers goes up in smoke if they lose this. And there's some winnable games coming up, but this is a disaster for the loser. And Sal Powell would say, got to have it game. This is no handicapping at all. None. But we know what happened last year with National Tight Ends Day. All these guys ate. So I'm looking at this tonight. And we could kick off the festivities early with Gadsden and also Hawkinson that they go off in touchdowns. And I'll do a little bit of this tomorrow and when we're on Sunday morning with the Tailgate Show. This was during National Tight Ends Day last year. Njoku, Andrews, Laporta, Pitts, 2, Otten, 2, Kraft, Ingram, Kincaid, Kelsey, Kittle all scored. McBride had $125. Gesicki had 70 yards. Almost everyone ate with the tight ends. So why not kick it off early? And you're looking at some of these props. Now the Guru loves Hawkinson tonight.
Yeah.
And he's 34.5 yards and 3.5 receptions. But if Gadsden can do this again, 10 yards each quarter, 18-1. 75 yards and a touchdown, plus 525. 75 yards and 2 touchdowns, 21-1. Hawkinson, 10 yards each quarter, 22-1. 25 yards each half, plus 425. 50 yards each half, 14-1. I think it's going to be a back and forth, high-scoring affair. Each quarterback to have 25 completions is 9-1. We saw what happened last week. The dog has won 3 straight Thursday night games. Big dogs, too. See if that continues with Minnesota. But I think we're in store for a shootout tonight, and I think some big props can cash just like they did last week.
Here's why I am scarred on Gadsden. It's because, and I'll go back again, it was September 21st, week 3. He made his debut for the Chargers against Denver. He had 46 yards. That week, I think we played some audio from Harbaugh, ran down some tweets. Harbaugh told the media there's going to be plenty more where that came from. So I got on him against the Giants at 19.5. It closed 21.5. He had 16 yards, and I laddered him to the moon that day. The next week, I said, I'm going to go back and do it one more time against Washington. I bet him over again. It opened 19.5, closed 22.5, and I laddered him again. He had 14 yards. I got killed. I did not bet him against Miami. His prop, some books closed 24.5. I know it opened up shorter than that. He had 68 yards. So laddering him to 60-plus would have been a huge payday. And then last week, they're like, he's probably not going to do it again. He opened up low to mid-20s, closed 26.5, and he had 164. But I will also be very unhappy with myself if I lay off tonight.
Yes.
Well, actually, what am I...
After what he just did last week.
But what pisses me off more, personally here, in my shoes, if I don't bet him and he goes off, or if I do bet him now with this inflated number and he doesn't do anything.
It's the former. Yes. Now, maybe it is a lot of Johnston and a lot of Allen. By the way, if Allen has 8 receptions, he sets the Charger record. Maybe they try to get that for him tonight. You never know. But I could see Herbert sprinkling it around as well, too.
Can I look for some alt numbers here real quick on Keenan Allen?
That's not bad. But, Minnesota, I see there's some love for Naylor. Can Wentz get it to Jefferson and Addison? There's love for Addison. I think Hawkinson can definitely go over 34.5. I think we're in store for a good one. And I just can't get there. I can't get there with Dicker stuff, as he's had a couple losers, and they've had to force it and haven't been able to kick field goals as well. But from a lunatic fringe, let's get nuts standpoint, with the scoring specials, a team to score 40 tonight is 7-1. A team to score in all 4 quarters is 8-1. The touchdown field goal each half, both teams, is 14-1. Octopus, 15-1.
Give me the octopi.
2 touchdowns each quarter, 28-1. Each team, 2 rushing and 2 passing, 75-1. I mean, after what we just saw last week, and we know with the game we just watched with the Chargers and the Vikings, that there could be fireworks and some serious fireworks and some big boys can cash.
Okay, so I'm looking right now at one book here in Las Vegas, because not many offer alternate receptions, but Stations Casinos does. By the way, pro tip here for those of you who live in town or in the state, if you have the Stations app, the layout and the interface, like on the iPad, it's phenomenal. Yeah. So I highly recommend, if you live here in town and if you don't have it, or if you do, go and get it and use it on your iPad. It's absolutely outstanding. But over 7.5 catches is plus 335 for him to become the all-time Chargers leading receiver.
Okay.
I would maybe look at a little bit higher than that, but I know other books will offer that. Earlier today, 82% of the handle was on LA at DraftKings. So over the last 2 years, when more than 68% of the handle has been on one side, it's 46% ATS. I'm looking right now at vsin.com. You can go there, by the way, and check out the betting splits when you become a vSIN Pro subscriber. It's a little bit lower than 68% right now, so it doesn't fall into that threshold. 66 at DK, 61% of the bets on the Chargers in this game.
Yep.
And here at Circa, well, how about this? 71% of the handles on Minnesota, but 72% of the bets on the Chargers. So they're taking way more smaller bets on the Chargers, and the sharper money has definitely been on Minnesota in this game.
Yeah. I did that Gadsden. I did that 10 yards each quarter, 18-1. And I did the 75 yards and a touchdown plus 525. And you got to take some Hawkinson, too, with the national tight ends.
Yeah, his is low. It's like 30.5 at some spots.
Yeah, he is, at Caesars, he's plus 320 to have 60 yards. He's 6-1 to have 70+. If he catches a couple long ones, why not?
Yeah.
Johnston's 6-1 to have 100 yards. Keenan Allen is plus 330 to have 90 yards. And you had to worry about McConkey, too. I saw Guru likes McConkey over. And he is not at a big price, but he's 4-1 to have 100 yards.
Now, how about this?
And what do you do with Vidal? What, does he do anything on the ground?
By the way, the other running back, Haskins, is out.
Yeah.
He's out of the game, so it's like his backfield. There's simply like nobody else. Maybe anytime touchdown on him tonight in the game.
Yeah.
So, man, the Jordan Addison prop number has been fascinating all week because they put these props on the board like either Monday or Tuesday morning, right, for a Thursday night game. And it opened up 51.5. It went to like 57.5 at most books, then back to 51.5, then back to like, and then it's gone back and forth like 4 or 5 times, I think, this week. Here, okay, the following right now is Jordan Addison's numbers per game. When you look at, he came back against the Steelers 3 weeks ago, right? He had 8 targets in that game, only caught 4, but he had 114 yards. There was an 81-yard reception in that game. Against Cleveland, really good defense, had caught 5 on 6 targets, 41 yards and a touchdown. Last week against Philadelphia, turned into a shootout, which tonight you think it might be. He had 12 targets, 9 catches, 128 yards. It was this morning it came back to 51.5 on him. I laid 20 cents with it, but Wentz has something here with Addison that he really, really likes, I believe. He's almost turned into his go-to guy.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. I like Hawkinson.
Herbert, longest rush.
Over.
Got to do that, too. 10.5. That'll come in. And I also love that you got 2 aggressive coaches, especially O'Connell, who'll go for it on 4th down. And then Wentz also knows got to take care of the ball. No stupid throws. The pick 6 was awful against Philadelphia. And as he said afterwards, it would help if I wouldn't turn the ball over.
Sure.
And there are issues in both teams so bad in the red zone lately.
Right. Let me give you some Opta AI stats, which are available again at vsin.com/NFL props. Their projections for tonight: Herbert under 254.5 passing yards by like 20 yards. And Wentz over 230.5 passing yards by 20-some yards when I was looking last. One guy over big, other guy under big.
Well, what we need is a team to get off to a 14-0 start early, too. I want someone playing catch-up as well.
Oh, would you look at biggest lead, by the way, just in case?
Largest lead, 13.5, 14.5, don't like it.
Here's another one they like. And I believe Guru's on him as well. Jalen Naylor over.
Yeah.
They have him going over by like almost 19, 20 yards.
Why did Guru like him?
Oh, he brought him up today on his show, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see I forgot to read I read it, but I didn't see the Naylor stuff. First Bet, the official racing partner of VSiN, thrilled to bring an exclusive offer to bet the Breeders' Cup World Championships. Promo code VSINBC, VSINBC. Enter to win an all-expenses paid trip to Vegas when you deposit and bet $200 when you do deposit and bet just $100 to get a 1-year VSiN Pro subscription for access to exclusive content, picks, and more. Bet the Breeders' Cup with First Bet, the official racing partner of VSiN. Promo code VSINBC. Are you ready for this? Up next.
Oh, man. What a day today. An NBA coach was charged in an illegal poker operation tied into the mafia. This story has so many layers, unbelievable details as well. We'll give it to you coming up next here on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Here was the report that dropped several hours earlier today for those of you who might be getting in your car right now, driving around anywhere in the country, and you're like, yeah, I've been busy. I haven't really caught up on the news yet. It was a bombshell involving the NBA, a current coach, current player, and a former player. Portland Blazers head coach Chauncey Billups is among those charged in an illegal poker operation tied to the mafia, while Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier is among several people charged in a separate but related illegal gambling case, according to authorities announced earlier today. The poker games, which included basketball players to lend credibility to their authenticity, were allegedly rigged in favor of those running the games using advanced technology such as rigged shuffling machines and even X-ray technology to read cards facing down on the table. Also, games were organized beginning in 2019 in the Hamptons, Manhattan, Las Vegas, and Miami. The profits from the alleged poker scheme ran up $7 million and counting, according to officials. And the investigation took place across 2 years. The story earlier today also said Billups only involved in poker, but not sports betting related. That has since changed. And that is not good for him. His career, Paul, done.
Yep.
I mean, I think we can be very safe in saying that right now.
In the indictment, Damian Lillard was probable. Billups called people and told them he's not going to play. And then Lillard didn't play. They used that information and won. And then Lillard, once they started the tank, that was starting the tank to try to get Wemby. He didn't play the rest of the year, and they lost 15 of their last 17 games. Rozier and Damon Jones, who also passed on information when he was with the Lakers that LeBron James wouldn't play when he was probable against the Milwaukee Bucks. Bucks won and covered, is in this as well. They passed inside information to 4 co-defendants who are accused of passing the info to a network of bettors. Those bettors placed those wagers with online books or retail betting outlets and did very well. Operation Nothing But Bet. Operation Royal Flush is where you had the underground poker games, and Billups was the face card where you would come in and get the fish, where he was used to lend credibility to the games. The mafia used extortion and violence to make sure they paid. Everyone but the fish knew the game was rigged, where they had these cameras in the chandeliers and the mark cards, and you could see with contact lenses and x-rays underneath and all these devices that they had. Victims believed they were sitting at a fair table. They were cheated out of millions. Text messages between the defendants as they carried out their scheme show in one such game in Las Vegas, April of 2019, Billups was winning so many improbable hands, they had to tell him, hey, knock it off. You got to start losing on purpose. This is ridiculous. How does it get to the point where a guy who has played 17 seasons making over $100 million and is making $5 million per year as the head coach of the Blazers and is in the Hall of Fame is in a position where he's talking to the media, to the mafia, taking these phone calls with the Genovese, Gambino, Bonanos, the crime family, and you're used as the credibility face card to sit down and get people into these poker games, and then you're passing along inside information. Were you in a world of hurt? You made so much money. Was it Frank B said maybe don't underestimate someone's greed? I'm stunned.
He likes the rush of it.
Come on.
I mean, I think there's maybe a decent chance here that he racked up several $1 million in debt playing poker over the years. I wouldn't rule that out. Why? I mean, the reasons that you just ran down, including that one, I think would be at the very top of the list. The guy's a Hall of Famer. That 04 Pistons team that took apart the Lakers in 5 games should have been a sweep. Is it on all-timer with what they did? And the guy was known for,
Mr. Big Shot.
Of course he was, yeah. In the biggest games imaginable. It was him and Robert Horry basically playing simultaneously.
The Rozier thing's no surprise. The fact that the NBA cleared him, we got some tweets maybe just because they wanted to get the FBI on with their investigation, which lasted 2 years, okay, and 34 people are arrested. But the Rozier thing's no surprise because, we saw the footage and the video, and also the accusations proved to be true that he said, hey, I'm going to leave this game early with an injury. They bet $200,000, and they went back to their house and counted it all up, and then they would go about their business. And then this was his idea, but this is no surprise either. When also Mitch retweeted it, there's just some awful footage of a game in Cleveland. He has earned over $130 million in his 10-year career. He's making $26 million per year. He did not play last night, coach's decision. So he was arrested in Orlando at 6 a.m. at a hotel. Billups was arrested at his house at 6 a.m., and then they got Damon Jones also at 6 a.m. I believe he's with Cleveland, and they played the Knicks, so they got him in New York.
Right. Yep, and here's more on that. Earlier today, the police commissioner in New York City, Jessica Tisch, discussed the Rozier incident in detail, including at the end of it how he and other people involved were counting money after the game at his house.
One example occurred on March 23rd, 2023 in Charlotte. Terry Rozier, an NBA player now with the Miami Heat, but at the time playing for the Hornets, allegedly let others close to him know that he planned to leave the game early with a supposed injury. Using that information, members of the group placed more than $200,000 in wagers on his under statistics. Rozier exited the game after just 9 minutes, and those bets paid out, generating tens of thousands of dollars in profit. The proceeds were later delivered to his home, where the group counted their cash.
Okay, that's pretty strong, detailed information right there that the police commissioner of New York City is providing the entire public and the NBA, by the way. And so, again, the question has to come up of allowing that much money to be placed on player props. How is that possible? How are people allowed to get that much money?
That's the thing. I don't care how much you lose in a casino or how much you're down when you can use a beard. The FBI said the sports books are the victims in this case. It also goes back to Porter when this all started. It goes back to Clase and Ortiz. When someone is saying, I want to bet 20,000, whatever it is, on Rozier, everything under, or Porter, everything under, your antenna has to be up. And that's when you have to sound the alarms. And there has to be lower limits. And sometimes you just can't offer stupid stuff that's easy to manipulate. Like, I never even heard of Porter when this happened. And you can win $1 million on all his unders, and not once but twice he leaves with an injury and hardly plays. And will the first pitch of the 7th inning be a ball or a strike? And Ortiz and Clase not even close. But the other thing, I just hate this. This is because tinfoil hat guy wins. And tinfoil hat guy should never win, ever. He's nuts. He's crazy. It shouldn't work. It shouldn't happen. We had the Donaghy thing, that's it. College, I understand. They're kids. You can take some money, get a nice gift, whatever. But for a Hall of Famer, an NBA coach, and the Rozier stuff, who makes $20 million a year, I just can't believe it that you're sitting down with the mafia. And, when you're into the mob, or if you ask them to do you a favor, or they do you a favor and you owe them one, well, forget about it. Yeah. And it's just like the Sopranos episode when they take Davey with the sporting goods store. Okay? You wanted 3 boxes, Edie? Okay? I didn't authorize it. You're down big? Okay, I'm going to take out your whole store. And then give me your card, too.
Getting plenty of messages, by the way, that it has to be legal sports books, because even like the biggest and some of the sharpest offshore books in the world, their limits on props are like 500. You can rebet maybe 1,000 if you're lucky to get down on some of this stuff. So
to win $1 million on Porter stuff, or 6 figures on Rozier stuff.
Right. So even at those big like offshore outfits that we're talking about, like something would have happened. Like they were going to be like, why does this keep on coming in here?
It's like the Draymond Green thing, too. When everyone had the information, he was just going to come in for the opening tip for his buddy, and then he was coming out of the game. I think it was Bridges who did it, too, to extend his streak. Once that information's out there, you just have to...
Well, by the way, I do hate the idea of sports books getting rid of unders on player props. I can't stand that. There is a book in town that only offers alternate K props in baseball positively. So you can't even find an under. Like, let's say the guy is 4.5. They will only offer you 4+ Ks, 5+, 6, 7, 8, up to like 10. There's nothing on the under that you can bet. I think that's completely unfair. You have to be able to offer 2-way markets. It can't just be the yes on this. It's like if Christian McCaffrey on Sunday is -$9 to score a touchdown, I want to bet 6-1 that he's not going to score one. I want the no on that stuff. And I hope they don't. I hope they don't get eliminated.
And the other thing is, who knows what's going to come out and how deep this could be and how bad it could be. There's video out there from March. We talked about it. March. Portland's a 9-point dog. They're down 8 with 6 seconds. He fouls twice. He's the coach of the Blazers. Why would you foul twice? They had a foul to give. That never happens in the NBA.
Nope.
They're down 8 with 5 seconds. He's fouling. It's like, what am I watching here? And now you know. And how deep does it go? For the line move, sharp plays already there. They don't just follow the market, they help move it. Powered by advanced AI and plugged into trusted insider sources. They deliver the edge serious bettors use every day. Free reports, alerts, and market moving insight. Sharpplays.com. Been doing it since 2011. Get to sharpplays.com. What we're betting up next.
To determine the winner of any given college basketball game.
Someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything. You take it, take it, take it. I'll bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way. I'll give you 3-1 odds. Nope. 5-1. Nope. 10-1. You're on.
All right, last night, the official opening night of the NBA, unless we include this morning, actually, as part of that, too, with what happened with Rozier and Billups. The A.J. Green thing, Paul, I don't know if you were tracking that game or watching it all for the Bucks. Guy I'm going to have my eyes on with player props. The three-point shot, anyway, to begin the season. It was 2.5. Talked about that, bet it over plus 125. This dude had 3 attempts in the first 5 minutes. He made all of them. I'm like, that's the easiest one I'm going to have all year long. Yeah. I also laddered him plus like 4 and 5 plus made threes. He took 2 more shots the rest of the way with like 4 minutes left. And then 90 seconds left, he took another 3 and he missed it. So I don't know what the hell they do in the next game.
Oh, man.
But they're like this close. I'm like, oh, this is going to be awesome. And then, nope, didn't the ladder never got there. Red Wings loser, rookie goalie for the Sabres. On point last night. They had a 1-0 lead, and that was it. Sabres in control for a lot of it after that. As for, I think I have some pending, and for tonight, yeah, I'm on the 49ers Texans under 41.5. The wide receiver problems with Houston, their offensive line issues. They're not going to be able to run the football, and yet they have a great defense. Under all day for me with Texas. And I talked about this yesterday. My son turned 18 months. There's a golfer playing in Utah on the tour this week with the same name, Sebastian Moss. Gave him out 2,000 to 1. 2 under.
Yeah.
He's 4 back. When I did this, by the way, I thought this was great. I saw the messages that a lot of you sent. You tried to get in at various sports books. Caesars at 5,000 to 1. I did not notice that. My buddy Jason tried to get $50 on him. They rejected the bet and they locked up Sebastian Moss for 3 hours. Nobody could make a bet on him. He showed me the video, and I don't know what the hell was going on there, but so that's unfortunate. But other books, I think, try to do the same thing. As for tonight, I have one bet. I talked about this earlier this hour. Jordan Addison over 51.5 receiving yards, minus 120. Bet that earlier this morning.
All right. Very good. I'm going with Hawkinson over. I'll get to that in a second. Broncos lane 3. It's up to 3.5 against the Cowboys. Good game on Sunday. All right, Hawkinson over 34.5 receiving yards. Vikings and Chargers both have a touchdown and a field goal each half, 14 to 1. Gadsden at Caesars and Will Hill under player special, 75 yards and a touchdown, plus 525. I also bet 10 yards in each quarter, 18 to 1 in National Tight Ends Week. And let's start National Tight Ends Day with a bang today. Broncos lane 3 against the Cowboys. Freeman World Series MVP, 9 to 1, 15 to 1. No walk-off in the World.
Oh, no walk-off. I thought you wanted the walk-off.
No walk-off. No extra innings. No triple in the World Series.
Boy, you are so much fun.
Yeah, VSiN Pro subscribers have exclusive access to all new AI player prop projections powered by OptAI, the same trusted brand behind elite soccer analytics in the UK. To tip off the NBA season, get a limited time free preview or all new NBA player prop projections. Check both versions out today, vsin.com/NFL props and vsin.com/NBA props. We were supposed to talk about how great it was what transpired last night. Wembanyama was the first player to have 40 points, 15 rebounds, and no turnovers, and shoot 70% from the floor since at least 77-78 season, and also what Edgecombe did. Most points for a rookie in his first game since Wilt. 34, 7, 5 threes. I'll get to all the props and what cashed with that. That's incredible. And he dropped as low as plus 170 in some spots to win Rookie of the Year. And Wembanyama is as low as plus 270 to win MVP now as well.
Okay.
We got 80 games left. Okay, they were incredible performances, but what? Oh,
well,
man.
they want to protect because,
God, I know.
So, but if we could go back 24 hours, right? Would you, what was the highest number that you saw in Edgecombe?
I thought 15, 13. I think ESPN bet at 13. Or someone at 13, I thought I saw.
And by the way, Cooper Flagg's night?
Yeah, no good.
He even called it not great.
Right.
And it was far from great.
I thought Charles was good, though, at halftime about to get a point guard. What do you?
Yeah. Well, if we could go back 24 hours, I'd like to have Edgecombe in pocket.
Oh, God, no kidding.
And,
I touched on him briefly about he could have a big year, but you don't expect stuff like this.
No, not like that.
Kids
Obviously,
never
to open
played
the year.
what he did. By the way, Embiid had made one shot. I mean, Edgecombe carried him.
Well, Maxey was awesome.
That's true. He was great. But Embiid made one shot.
Are you? I don't want to overreact, but it's over for Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yes. Do you agree with Barkley that Flag shouldn't be the point guard because he's passing the ball to guys he's better than? I thought that was an interesting point.
Well, the thing with Cooper Flag that's going to concern me a little bit here is that he needs to realize that he's going to have to score a little bit here. And he got a little pass happy at Duke as well. So if he has a chance to like dominate and like if he can post up like lower guys and, you know, just take advantage of the spot, he's going to have to do it. That would have been a pretty electric way to start his career, by the way, with that alley-oop dunk. But they got blown out. So there's also this.
Because of what the alien did.
I am not going to get too involved with the awards markets because, as I told somebody yesterday, NBA award voters are not serious people, in my opinion. We've learned that. Took a long time, but here we are. I'm staring last night. This is when Freak is going nuts for the Bucks, right? It's going to be all day long for him. It's going to be 33, 15, and 5. Like, by the way, he has the most 30, 10, 5 games, I think, in the last 40 years out of anybody. His numbers are going to be just sick this year. I'm looking at him at 14-1. And the Spurs game is tipping off, and Wemby's off to a good start. He's 10-1. I got them both in queue. I'm like, should I fire on both guys right now to have action the entire year? And I passed. And I don't have a regret about it. I don't. Yeah. If they win, they win. That's fine.
You know what I loved? Remember last year how many threes he was taking?
Yeah.
He cut it out.
Big time.
He attacked the basket. He looked like Pippen and Duncan with a couple kisses off the glass, and it's not fair. And I love how Shaq is so insecure. When they give it to him, like, you have no chance if you were playing guarding this guy. The guy's dribbling between his legs. He's running the point. He's 7'4". He's knocking down threes, 4-point play, windmill dunks. We've never seen anything like it. You know, Dan Wetzel putting up, when it's all said and done, will he go down as the greatest player in NBA history? Well, who knows? 75% voted no.
Well,
but the fact that this guy can do that and go for 40 and 15 and no turnovers and bringing a ball up the floor and going between his legs and crossing guys over and then attacking the rack. I mean, it's
there were multiple stretches last night. And I tweeted this out, by the way, when Giannis was doing stuff where he would take like 2 dribbles and a couple of steps from half court and dunk the ball. I think it was 3 steps one time and a few dribbles and he would dunk the ball. I'm like, we've never seen anything like this before, ever. Just we haven't.
Mm-hmm.
That was Giannis 5 years ago, 6 years ago, whatever it was. Wemby's taking this to a brand new level. He had multiple stretches in the game last night where I'm like, we have absolutely never seen that by any human being in the history of the world. Ever. Because we haven't, Paul.
No.
I mean, some of those dunks, again, all things considered here, as tall as he is, and if he stays healthy, he will have games that will look better than what Joker has done in previous years.
He is 16-1 to have a quadruple double. I think that's in play.
That can happen.
Yep.
That can absolutely happen. And let me give you this.
Yeah, but I love that you're 7'4". You're so gifted. Don't sit there and chuck 8 threes a game.
Right.
He didn't do it.
I don't want to overreact, but thank God I don't have any futures on the Clippers.
Oh, boy.
And I will give you this. I don't think it was in my notes yesterday. I don't think we got to it. Steve Makinen has unbelievable numbers every day at vsin.com. Going into the game last night, and Clippers were 10-point favorites. Between these two teams, home teams were 17-5 straight up, 17-4-1 ATS since 2021. Again, is that going to be enough for you to go run out and bet the Jazz to win the game outright and whatever? Probably not.
Well, how about up 30 immediately?
But it is fascinating. Yeah, they dominated the entire game.
I know. Yeah, it was a fun night. And then just ruined by the nonsense today. But I like the tweets that were coming in. The Nets could be the worst team of all time.
Oh, that's
what
another.
Charlotte did to them. Remember what the owners said.
Yeah.
You know, we're tanking here. We can't win games, and that was pathetic.
I've already pinned, based on that game last night alone, the Hornets and the Nets. I've pinpointed 2 games this weekend. Hopefully the numbers are up on tomorrow's show because I'm going to bet them if they are, and I'll give them out as well, and I'll tell you why I like them. That was the Hornets got whatever they wanted. They scored, 138 points?
Yeah.
Hello.
7 guys in double figures or something? Yeah. Yeah. Dream come true.
Also, how about the Raptors game?
Yes. Boat raced Atlanta on the road.
I mean...
Never a contest.
Never a game.
Another good job.
And Atlanta's probably going to be really good this year.
Yeah, perhaps. Should be.
And that Magic Heat game flew
That's Spoelstra. I couldn't believe the score, I know, but that's Spoelstra. Just give me 5 guys, I'll make it work.
Sure, and they led pretty much the entire way before they gave it up. All right, we're hanging out tonight for the primetime game for an extra half an hour. Going to be joined by Murray and Humans coming up on VSiN Primetime. After them, it's Cashing Out, Dustin Sweetelson, and you can wake up tomorrow morning early with Jensen Lewis and Dave Ross. Ross can win $69,000 to the Blue Jays.